Alright, so you guys have wanted it, and here it is. Finally, my non-comic Teen Titans lineup, where I take characters from outside comic books and make a comic book team out of them. And yes, finally, I'm doing non-comic lineup for the Teen Titans. See, here's the thing why I never really did it before. You know, why I've been kind of staying away from a non-comic Teen Titans lineup. Because the thing is that there's such a bit, there's so many characters out there, but usually people pick the usual same few characters over and over again for a Teen Titans lineup. You usually see Danny Phantom, you usually see Kim Possible. There's so many characters out there, but I feel like there's enough characters now, and I want to make this team a little more unorthodox. I wanted to make this team a little more with characters that we haven't, you don't really, like new characters that have, some that are old and some that have just come on the scene, more or less. I don't want to make this team sound too generic. Also, this is probably the only image you're going to see, so mostly because I didn't feel like going around the internet fishing for fan art and comic images. I kind of got bit by the lazy bug on this one, so yeah, you're just going to hear the lovable sound of my voice. So sorry about that, guys, but you guys know the characters I'm talking about anyway. So here we go with with the first two team members. I don't really have a leader for this team per se. I just have a few members. The first two members are from the show Miraculous, which is Ladybug and Cat Noir. I've been recently I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the show. It's nice. I mean, it's nice to see an action cartoon actually be an action cartoon on Nickelodeon. Keep that in mind, an action cartoon on Nickelodeon. We haven't really had that since Danny Phantom, I want to say. Yeah, we haven't really had that since Danny Phantom. No, we do have Ninja Turtles, excuse me. We do have Ninja Turtles. That's an action cartoon, but it's just nice to have, another show to do that. It's adorable. I don't hate it. It's a very magical girl type show. I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I'd say I would occasionally watch. I'm an occasional enthusiast. There's the best word. But yeah, Cat Noir and Ladybug would be on this team. I'd put them both on there. I'd make them like the stealth members of the group. Those two. Here's the big problem I have with the show is like, I kind of like every time I watch an episode, I'm just like Barbossa in the third Pirates movie. Where I'm just like, just kiss already. Yeah, so that's how I kind of am with those two. But yeah, those two would be on the team. Ladybug and Cat Noir would be members. Following that is Steven. Yes, from Steven Universe. Reason being, he's actually 14, so he qualifies as a teenager. So, yeah. Going back to Cat Noir and Ladybug real quick, those two great martial artists. They're great. Those would be the stealth members. Steven would be another great addition to the team. He's slowly learning more about his gem powers. He would definitely be the great defense for the team. He would be a great defense, and he would be the one he'd be like the glue of the team. He'd be the one keeping their spirits up during, some very trying times. I feel like that would be their big thing, is that they would, Steven would be the one when they're really beaten down by an enemy, and Steven would be there to really just give them a push. He would be there, to, coax them. He'd be there to give them a hand. He'd be the one being like, guys, we can't give up now. I mean, yeah, we can do this, yeah. Steven would be the one cheering them up, as well as Steven could be a major powerhouse to this team. The more we see of his powers, the more you see that he's going to become something great. Would I put Connie on this team as well? Maybe. But for the right now, I'm just going to leave it as Steven. Not to say anything wrong with Connie, it's just she's, all she has is her swords and, just to fuse and make Stevani. But, yeah, I'm just going to go with Steven right now. So there's three right off the bat. Following that is... oh my god, I can't believe I lost it. Following that is Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot. Again, this was one you kind of expected, but yeah, Jenny would be the powerhouse of the group. Seriously, how powerful is this robot? When you really think about it, it's like, did Dr. Wakeman trade notes with Dr. Giraud to build you? No, really, that's what it's like sometimes when you're watching My Life as a Teenage Robot. You're just kind of sitting there like, yo, did Wakeman build you or Giraud build you? I'm wondering if you're like rather than XJ9, you're Android, you're Android -9. I don't know. So Jenny would definitely be the powerhouse of the group. She'd be the one that would just be like, the rest of the team would be like, so, yeah, that's a lot of people. Hey, Jenny, you want to thin the herd out a bit? Yeah. So, moving right along to... El Tigre, from, of course, El Tigre. Manny would be kind of like the wild card of the team when you think about it, because he's both good and evil. So he might be tempted by tempted to do bad, or he'd be the one starting shit. I could definitely see, like, Manny would be the one wanting to start shit among the team, especially him and Cat. Like, he'd be like, dude, there's already a cat theme, there's one too many cat theme characters on here, get out. So Manny would be another one. He may be the one that the rest of the team would be like, okay, look, dude, you're no hero, you're no villain, you've got to pick a side right now. So I think Manny would be one on there, but how long he would be on there, that'd be the difficult choice right there. So next member is Star. Star, of course, from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Magical girl with super powerful wand. Well, she did. Let's just say, like, this is season 1 Star when she had the wand. So I'd even put Marco on this team. Marco's a pretty good martial artist. I could even see him, like, he's putting on the Robin costume. He'd be like, yeah, Robin's not here. I'm Robin now. Totally Robin. Yeah, so Star, and I guess, yeah, Star and Marco would be on the team. I would love to see them interact with Ladybug and Cat Noir. Just be like, so you guys together? It'd be like, we don't know. Just look at, like, Star and Marco would look at each other and be like, baby, what about you two? And then they'd be like, we don't know. Yeah, so, yeah, Star and Marco would be on the this Teen Titans team. Following that is... crap, I had another one and I totally lost it. Oh yeah, Randy Cunningham, the ninja. Of course Randy would be on this team. He'd be another great stealth member. He'd also be a great shit talker as well. I think him and Manny would hit it off. Him and Manny would seriously hit it right off the bat. They would just be loads of fun together. I can even see him and Cat, like him, Cat, and Manny totally kicking it and, just completely shit-talking one another. So Randy would be on this team. Another member would be Jake Long. Yeah, Jake Long. Another character you kind of figured would be on this team. Yeah, the American Dragon himself. He'd be another great power fighter. He'd be also another guy. I think him and Randy would also be, best buds as well. So following that is Word Girl from... Well, Word Girl. Yeah, Becky's literally, her species of Lexiconians, that's their name, honest to God, are pretty much like Kryptonians. So you've got a 10-and-a-half-year-old Kryptonian on your team. So, and she would be the biggest powerhouse. Like, again, her powers are literally like Superman's. So she'd be the one. She'd literally be the one who would also be alongside Jenny and be like, "Hey, Jenny, Becky, you want to take this one?" Yeah. So there you go. Another member, Shizao, Guy Hampton. Yes, it is a dude who is secretly posing as a female superhero. Another great power fighter, and I think there would be some kind of weird, because Guy has a super huge ego, so I could definitely see him also being the one trying to start shit among the team. Oh man. And finally is, of course, the leader of the team. And who do you think would be the leader of this team? No, really, who do you guys think would be the leader of this team of superheroes? Did you guess Danny Phantom? Because I hope you did. Of course, who else would be a leader of a non-comic lineup of Teen Titans? Danny is a great leader. He's probably one of the most powerful of the heroes on this team, and his powers are even growing more and more. So Danny would be the one in charge of, leading this big team of young superheroes into battle. I kind of thought about not using Danny. There were a few other characters I considered here and there, but Danny just hits all the qualities. And again, it just seems a little too generic, but yeah, when I just kept going back to Danny, more or less. I just kept going back to Danny. So, yeah, So there you go, guys. It's a big team, but the Titans of before have been big teams as well, so yeah, I figured why not. So, you guys tell me, who would be on your non-comic Teen Titans lineup? I'm really excited to see what you guys have because, yeah, there's a ton, a literal ton of other characters that we can use. I've only scratched the surface. I know I used a lot, and I'm pretty sure there may be, it's totally fine to see other characters from this list on yours. It's totally fine. I'm not saying these are mine, you can't use them. Yeah, because some of them were a little generic, but I wanted to think outside the box because we've had in the past few years we've had a small influx of the teen animated superhero stuff. So yeah, and I left out a few. I purposely left out a few to be obviously I left out Kim. I left out Kim and Ron. Left out Ben and Gwen and Kevin from of course Ben 10. So you guys could use them. Anyway, so really excited to see what you guys have for this lineup. And yeah, just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this non-comic lineup. And I will see you guys later.